Actions in Photoshop is a series of commands or tasks recorded and can be played back on a single or multiple files that can help you automate tasks. They also act like shortcuts. With just a click, you can accomplish a particular task in a very short period of time. This is Twisted Creative. Alaribe Emmanuel is my name. It's your first time on this channel. Please do me a favor. Do me a favor by hitting that subscribe button. Not just hitting that subscribe button. Also, ring that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the next video. Without wasting much time, let's get into it. These are the image we are going to be using for this illustration. This play icon is the action in Photoshop. In case you are not seeing it here, you can go to Windows and choose Actions. So this is on the button mode. If you want to create action, you don't have to be on button mode. Go to this menu here, uncheck the button mode. Then you have the actions like this. So if you take a look at these actions, we have some default actions here and the ones I created personally. But we are not going to be looking at those actions. That we are going to be creating what we are going to be using. We are going to create and save it. We can use it whenever we need it, and we can also share with our friends. We are going to create something that is going to make this image better than the way it's looking now. Okay, we are going to be creating a set. Now the set we are going to be creating can accommodate some actions, 2 or more actions. We are going to left click on this folder icon here. We are going to right click on this folder icon to create a set. So you have to give the set a name. We have to name it as Creative Enhancement. We'll click OK. We are going to left click on this plus icon now to create the action itself. We are going to be giving the actions name individually. So let's name this as Exposure. So have this first one as exposure. So each and every step you are going to make now, Photoshop is going to record it. As you can see, this image is whitish. We can balance this image by adding brightness and contrast. So we can go to the adjustment layer and click on the adjustment layer and choose brightness and contrast. So as you can see, we have adjustment layer here. Then we can adjust this image. Let's say -25 here. Let's say -25 for the brightness. Then go to the contrast and put in 25. So we have the image like this. I think it's almost okay, if not okay. Let's just imagine that the image came brighter than this. Then we have to double this stuff now, so as if you play the action, it will be able to work for that image also that is coming brighter than this on the action. So we have to go to the adjustment layer again and choose brightness and contrast. By this time we are still going to do -25. Then for the brightness, then go to the contrast and go to 25. Then we have everything doubled here. So we have 2 of this now. We are going to stop this recording now so as we have our exposure. Let's stop here. If you check now, we have exposure here. We can save this as exposure. The next action we are going to be creating is going to be eyes and teeth whitening action. We have to whiten the eyes and the teeth of this image. We have to select this creative enhancement and we are going to click on this plus icon to create a new action. Then this action, we are going to be calling it eyes and teeth. Eyes and teeth whitening. We have it as eyes and teeth whitening. So we'll click on record. We have to go to the adjustment layer and choose hue and saturation. Click on this master and choose red. Reduce the saturation of the red to -70. Increase the lightness to 50. Click on this box again and choose yellow. Then reduce the saturation to -70. Increase the lightness to 50. Select the layer mask and use your Ctrl+I to invert it. Make sure your brush is selected before you stop the action. If you select your brush before you stop the action, anytime you load the action, your brush is going to be selected, knowing that you are going to use your brush to, do the task. So we have to do it that way, and I think we are done, and we have to click stop. We have to stop the action. We have to stop the action. Now we have 2 actions there now. Let's see how it works. We are going to be deleting all these layers now from this image. We are going to delete them. Let's take them to the delete icon here and they are gone. How can you make use of this action? Let's switch back to button mode and see if it's going to be there. As you can see on button mode here, we have exposure here, we have eyes and teeth whitening. Eyes and teeth whitening. So how can we use this now? So this is our image and here is the exposure. If you click on this exposure now, you see it happen immediately. Okay, what if we don't want it as dark as this? We have to leave this button mode. We have to go here and leave the button mode. Okay, the action is opened. Let's assume that the adjustment is too much on this image. That let's assume that it is too dark. It is too dark. The reason why we created two of this that time is that we can disable this and we are good to go with just one. Maybe you say it's a little bit whitish. Anyway, you can enable it and reduce the opacity of that layer, and you can see it's very beautiful now. The next one is going to be the eyes and teeth whitening. Then let's go in there and choose the eyes and teeth whitening stuff, and we'll click on play. Now you can see it on top here. As you can see, the brush is selected. We just have to zoom in and reduce the brush, and you can start clicking. So that is just it. You can just click. You can see reduce the opacity of your brush and your flow. So as it's going to come gradually, you can paint on the teeth. That is why it is action. You don't really need to start adjusting all these things again, like as you can see. So that is a very good example that we've done now. We have eyes and teeth whitening action, and we have the exposure, and as you can see, you see what we have here. So this is the image now. I think we are okay with this image like this. Let's click on the first one and hold our shift to select the last one, then use our Ctrl E to merge everything. Then we'll have the image like this. Let's create something else that is going to make this image better than what it is. I'm going to be softening this image, but it's going to be the fast way. It's not the main frequency separation. So let's see what we can do. So we are going to be creating action on this. Let's collapse this creative stuff. We have to left click on this folder and create another set, which is going to be soft creative. Let's say soft creative. So this is soft creative. Let's hit OK here. Then we have this set created. Under the set, we have to left click again and create the action and choose a name for the action. Then this action now, we are going to be naming it as soft skin. Let's say soft. So we have it as soft skin. There is something I did not mention the other time. Like if you take a look, you check here, we have soft skin, then we have the set as soft creative. Then for this function key, you can assign a function key. You can click here and choose any of this key, F2 or whatever. You're going to add a key that is going to help you navigate to that F2. You can add not just F2, then you can add shift to the F2. If you add this now, you have to click on shift F2 to load the action immediately. So let's see the color. We have to choose color for this. You can choose color for the action. Like you can go here and choose, like anything soft skin, I always take it as skin and it's supposed to be orange color, so I'll choose orange color for that. Then we are going to hit record because the settings has been made here. We're going to be using shift F2 to load the selection automatically. Then for the color, it's going to be orange. Then let's hit record. Then what we are going to be doing here is we are going to be using 3 of this. We are going to be doubling this stuff. We are going to use Ctrl J twice to make it 3 copies. So with these 3 copies, we are going to be using, with these 3 copies, this first one is going to be, let's say, sharp, which is the detail. Then this second one should be renamed as blur, which is the color. Blur. Then hit OK. We have to disable the sharp. Select the blur, go to filter, blur, then Gaussian blur. You take it down and gradually increase it to where you will see no details here. We are not going to make this radius fixed. We are going to do it in a way that is going to ask you what's going to be your radius if you are loading the action. So I'm going to make this, let's say 5.6, and let's put 6 here. 6, okay, and hit OK. So I will come here and click on this box. So we have a box here which is going to stop the action and is going to ask you the amount of the radius of the Gaussian blur. After which we are going to select this sharp and enable the sharp, then go to filter, order, then high pass. You are going to take it to 0.1 and lift it and stop when you start seeing the image, when you start seeing the lines of the image. That is 1.5 is okay. Okay, let's just make it to, let's put 2 here and hit OK. Then we are going to take the blend mode to linear light. Then select this sharp and hold your control to select the blur. Then use your Ctrl G to place them in a group. Make sure the group is selected, then add a layer mask. Then use your Ctrl I to invert the layer mask. Then I think it is done. We make sure our brush is selected also before we stop this action. So we are going to stop here. Now we have the action done. We are going to remove these things from this image and let's delete them. So we have the original image like this. Then we'll go to the action. This is soft skin. If you click on this now and hit play, you notice that we have this opened. For this image, we are still using a particular image. We are still using this image. So we don't need to adjust the radius here. We just hit OK. Then you have the group there. Is it not magic? With your brush selected, make sure your foreground is white and your background is black, and you can increase your opacity and flow, and you just need to paint on the skin like this. Can reduce when necessary. Before running it, you have to remove your blemishes before you start doing that. So we have to go ahead and do the softening of the skin. It's always good you remove the blemishes before you start creating your actions, because if you do it inside, it's going to look like mess. So you have to remove it before starting your frequency separation action. So that is just it. So as you can see, we are done with this image. It's just a click. Let's check the before and after applying the action. This is before and this is after. This is before and this is after. Isn't that amazing? The next thing we are going to be doing now is we are going to save this action. We are going to be saving this action. Then you can go to, let's collapse all this. So you can see if we collapse this now, if we collapse this action now, we notice that we have just skin, soft skin here under the soft creative. This soft creative, we can equally save this soft creative in general. Anything that is under the soft creative, we are going to save it. We can click on this and go to this menu bar here and choose save action. You are going to give it a name. just like as it is, then you click save. Try to figure out where you are saving it. So let's go to action on desktop and we have it here, then we'll click save. Then let's go to the desktop and see, like as you can see, we have the action folder here on desktop. Then you see we have this action as soft creative. You can send this action to your friend. Let me show you how you can open it in Photoshop. If this is your Photoshop and you are under action, you just go and click this menu here and go to load actions. If you try to load actions here, then you go to where you have the action, and let's say this is action, then you select the action and click load. It's going to load. If I load it now, it's going to be doubled here, so I don't want to load it. So that is how you can load your actions. That is it for today on how to create and save actions in Photoshop. If you find it interesting, helpful and useful, let us know in the comment section, telling us the area it has helped, the area it has not, and the area we need to improve on. Like I said earlier, if you are new on this channel, please do me a favor. Do me a favor by hitting that subscribe button. Not just hitting that subscribe button, also ring that notification bell so that I don't miss any of the next video. Thanks for watching today's video. Creative Pro, keep on creating. Please stay creative. Bye for now. See you in the next one.